Okay, welcome back to the Jesse Morris Show, boys. I have officially changed the name. As part of it, I haven't saluted on the jam, despite the place last week, Jimmy. I know you're not happy with that, so we're not going to be calling it Team Rocket until me and you provide the jam. And I've got something special for you, boys. Because it just hasn't been flowing for Jim and the head-to-head isn't quite working, I've decided to jump in on this week's head-to-head. So it's going to be a head-to-head with the triplets.
Yeah.
And I've also got my best for the footy as well. So I'm excited to get in. I've actually gone against the grain because it quite hasn't been working for me as well. I've had a few good punts away from the SPC and this show. But I haven't been able to provide it for this show as well. So I'm going against a few things, a few of my principles. So we'll see how this plays out. But before we get into the show, Jess, some big news for your futures next year. Russell Westbrook has gone to the Lakers, so I can just see you. I can see.
Is that official?
Apparently, it's a done deal. So they're going to send Montrezl Harrell, Montrezl Harrell, Kyle Kuzma, and KCP, and a first rounder. Apparently that's the deal.
By Kuzma.
You happy to see the end of Kuzma?
So happy. He's fucking.
Jeez, you couldn't trade him for a 6-pack of donuts. He's fucking terrible. He's trash.
He got caught up in the Hollywood lifestyle, man.
He got the Kendall Jenner curse of doom.
He got the Kardashian Jenner curse, didn't he? So
he copped it hard. I'm actually, that's a really good fit, Russell Westbrook, man.
A couple of the boys messaged me, Jay Doney from the OG Degenerates, and he's obviously excited. I think the pace that they're going to play with next year is going to be fucking incredible.
It'd be insane. Him and AD together, that'll just take so much pressure off LeBron, and that's what he needs.
They need to get 3-point shooters though.
Yeah, the thing is with Russell and LeBron attack, and I think Frank Vogel's even said it before, where he likes AD sitting out a little bit further and he likes him to take more threes. So if they spread the floor, put AD out in that swingman type big man role, it could suit him to a T.
Well, how good was the Brody after the All-Star break? He come out, said he had injuries, and then he went on his normal absolute tear of triple doubles every game.
Yeah, he's speaking of tears. Let's get into it. Some good basketball chat to start off with, but Jesse again dominated. Like I said, Jim. Let's go. Let's start with what went wrong first, though, boys. In your best, Jimmy Sunfall. What happened there?
Just the inside lanes were a bit inferior, and he just got a little bit bottled up and then had to weave his way through traffic and ran on well for third, but the other two just had clear runs down the straight the whole way and just went past him, but it was still a good run. So, but the other two horses were just better on the day.
And you saluted on Big Boy Roy at the place. When you were high on Big Boy Roy, and it was a fucking so close for you, mate, but when you tipped it up, we actually had that at $2.50 a place. It ended up coming in with all the deductions, so you only got so you got less than money back returned. But no disgrace in that loss, mate. That was just sort of that was a Frosty Rocks is a good horse, so
they just let Frosty Rocks walk in front, and just made it impossible for anything to sort of pick him up, but. My best bet next week will be Big Boy Roy if he's running next weekend. Sure. So we'll have that locked up already.
All right. And before we get into your jam, Jess, Sophia, what happened there?
Sophia. So it just couldn't handle the trip. It as they loomed up on the bend, I thought she was looking all right, but again, her legs just gave way after there's a good 100 to go, and the legs just gave way in it. So. She probably won't do much more for the rest of her prep. She might get spelled after that run, but it was a little bit of a risk investing on her. I thought I'd just invest on her, hoping she'd naturally progress, but I guess that backfired, but we did well elsewhere. So
you did do elsewhere, and there was a lot of pressure taken off straight away when you saluted on your sports bet, which I said on the show was one of the better bets that I'd seen in a minute. as you know, I had a little lick on it as well. I had a little 250 on myself. So I was stoked when Josh Addo-Carr went over in the left edge for your bet of any Storm or Cowboys player with the number jersey 2 or 5 to score in the first 15 minutes. And when Josh Addo-Fox goes over in the first 3 minutes, I can feel Jimmy's energy in the group chat.
But I was poking him in the head with my foot going, how's that, Jimmy?
Absolute sunken the life out of me. It's horrible.
I posted it up. I'm like, I'll chuck this up for anyone that doesn't view the podcast just because I thought it was legit free money.
Yeah.
And fucking hell, man. 4 minutes before 4 minute mark, they scored. I was just thinking, that was easy money.
Yeah, it was a nice bet, mate, and I did see that put up in the SPC. So I'm glad that a few people that aren't listening to the podcast at this point can be attracted back to this podcast, so we can get some more jam with where you do your best work. Jimmy, Jess, is on the footy bets, mate. So, but you also had a nice bit of jam. You had each way Ulysses later in the day in Brizzy, was it? In Doomben.
Ulysses brained him at Doomben. He
didn't brain him, man. He just beat Nora.
I was screaming too loud to focus on what else. He had the run of the race and just put him away easy. Like, that was a good watch. And I think, what did we get? 5s and 2s for him?
Correct. Yeah, we got 350 back for that.
350 back. That's more than Jimmy's got over the past.
That's more than Jimmy on the year. So well done. No, that's enough, Jim. We're going to get back into the positive energy as we get into our best bets, mate. And
I'm confident.
You are confident because you've gone something nice and short for your best for this week.
But to my credit, I picked him before when he got nominated last week to Jesse. I said my best bet at the Moonee Valley is going to be this horse.
Yep.
So we're going nice and early. Race 1, he'll be an absolute lay job. So, yeah, put the mortgage on him, whatever you want.
Oh, no.
That's big words coming from
Put the mortgage on him. I'm confident.
Yeah.
Jigsaw, race 1 at Death Valley. Jigsaw, $1.75. So he absolutely brained a better field than this first up. There was a couple horses as well from his first up run who have won since.
Yep.
If it rains there and gets even wetter, it just falls into place perfectly for him because he's
at the moment it's a soft 6.
Yeah, soft 6 at the moment.
With a little bit of rain,
if it gets any worse, like that won't affect his chances at all. And yeah, he's 28 days between runs, so they've kept him a bit fresh, which is good. He's given him some weight because he's carrying about 60 kgs, but this horse has I reckon he could steal a group race at the start of the carnival. Like, that's how good I reckon this horse could be.
Yep.
And then, Mickey Zara will just jump, go straight to the lead. But I remember the trainer said before his first up win that they wanted to try teach him to take a sit. So even if they take a sit one off the fence this weekend and then get him to let down, he'll comfortably put the field away. And yeah, he'll definitely be a good multi-horse for the punters out there.
You liked it with Death Valley too, as we're going to get onto it as we go a little bit further. You like to be sort of on pace or just off pace when you're at Moonee Valley, or does it depend on sort of how the track's playing out on the day more so with Moonee Valley?
Yeah. Usually depends when the rail's in the true position. That's and it's a good track.
Yep.
You normally have to be on pace.
Yep.
To be effective there. And
so with the soft,
rail's true.
Yeah, with the softs, no, rail's out 3.
Is it out 3?
So the rail's out 3. I think start of the day it could benefit being on the rail, but then I think if the ground gets a bit chewed up, I think as the day goes on, you'll gradually want to be getting off the fence there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think Jigsaw has the style to suit Moonee Valley. Like he's not like a big horse who needs time to wind up. Like he can just get through the gears and keep going. So I reckon his style of run will be suited at the Valley as well.
Beautiful. Moving on to you, Jess. One of your favourites, mate, Le Chevalier. It's back up again.
La Chevalier.
We got some big news for this race.
She's running again, and you can't knock her. I mean, the only query is that she's on a good track this time.
Yep.
But saying that, like one of her last runs in Melbourne, I think it was against I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, Jimmy.
Kurabai.
she went against Kurabai on a good track and they gapped the entire field. And that's still a strong form line to go off.
Yep.
And with how well she went last start, I know it was on a heavy track.
That was a nice watch, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, great watch. I'm just hoping like she can show the same turn of foot on the good track. And if she does, she'll get the run of the race again. Tommy Sherry gives us a little 2 kilo claim, which is good. And it's just a matter if she can continue to progress. Like, she's a classy little horse. She showed that last up. And this field is no tougher than what it faced that day. So I'm happy to ride with Chevalier again as me best.
Is that how you pronounce it? Is it? Yeah, I thought it's Le Chevalier, but I could be wrong. I pronounce names wrong all the time.
Oh, yeah? I'm saying Chevalier. I'd go Chevalier.
Okay, sweet. You know what I love in a horse too, like especially sort of, when it runs the distance, like up around these, like when they can run on, any conditions. It's got like 5. It's obviously a mudlark. It's got five in the heavy for 3 wins, but it's also had 5 races in the good and got a win, a second and a third as well.
Yeah.
So
she doesn't mind like the conditions. She's obviously a bit better in a softer ground, like that's what they've mentioned. But I'm just happy again, just on class alone, to ride out Chevalier as me best.
Yeah, beautiful, mate.
I would multi that with Jimmy's Jigsaw. I know he's been going horrible of late on the Saturdays, but
yeah,
I'm confident Jigsaw gets him across the line.
I think you might be home now, Jim, seen as Jess has saluted on it.
I had a deep and meaningful thought to myself, and I was like, I just got to claw myself back slowly.
$1.75 favorite every week.
As I said, you don't win a fucking footy comp halfway through the year.
That's it,
you
mate.
do your best work at the fucking finals time, and that's what I'm going to do. It's coming up the finals.
Well, I love that sort of mindset. I've always done my best work late, boys, as you know. And that's why we'll be moving on to Moonee Valley Race 8. It's the Congrats Jamie Carr handicap. I think that's obviously due to her 100 wins. And, she didn't have the best weekend last weekend, boys. I was on Jamie Carr on a couple of occasions and she didn't quite get the job done. So I thought it would be ironic to pick her race this week. And like I said, I've jumped on board for this race as well, boys. I'm gonna kick us off here, boys. I'll get into it. I'm going to go Namakwa, the top weight. Like I said, the few things that I don't normally do, I don't normally go against horses that haven't raced at Moonee Valley before. I think it's one of those tricky courses. And, Madison Lloyd doesn't give me I'm not excited about Madison Lloyd being on board as well. But, as being the top weight, she gets a 3 kilo claim. And the one, a couple of things that I do like about her, I love horses that, sort of run this tricky distance, like the 2,000 metres to 2,400 metres. I sort of look around those races like that run them well. And it's only had the 2 starts, but it's got a first and a third. So I'm happy to go to the top weight here, boys. Where are you boys going?
If you don't get much rainfall down there, I like that pick as well.
Yep. Yeah. No, it races well in the good. It's obviously it's had 3 starts, 2 wins and a second. So yeah, I'm hoping for like you said, it doesn't rain too much down there and we get a soft to good sort of track.
You're up. Well, I'll go now. So in that race, I'm on. It's a bit of an odds chaser here, but Swindon Lass at $34.
Love that.
So reason being, she ran against the 2 favorites last start. Who's Jamie Carr on in that race?
Red Santa.
So Red Santa and Flossing. She was caught 3 wide the whole trip, no cover. And she never really got to settle or anything and still battled on for third in that race and only finished like 2.5 or 2.8 lengths off both Red Santa and Flossing. And Bowie Mertens gets back on board again. I think he meets them both better slightly in the weights, not a great deal. But I'm going with the opposite of you. So I'm hoping we get some rainfall.
Yep.
And if we can get close to that soft 7 or heavy, and with any luck in transit this time, if Bo Mertens can get some cover throughout, I think it can run a race at some juicy odds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to give it
It's drawn wide though. Like it's drawn barrier 15, but there's like 20 horses in the field.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to take the risk on that.
And like you said off the top, boys, like if it ends up being advantageous to be off the rail a little bit later on and it drops back, it's probably not going to. It could end up in a good spot and come home strong at the end. The reason I jumped in is because you both kind of had rough choices. So I'm thinking, giving us 3 chances in this race is going to suit us as well, boys. But
can we start making this a triple threat event and then like start having consequences for the Adam?
Well, let's see how we go this week first to see if, because we haven't we've had a couple of horses at like decent odds in the head-to-heads and haven't
just been giving me ideas for Jimmy and his lack of winners lately.
Yeah. All right, Jim, moving on to you. You've gone Capricorn Ridge. Why are you going that?
So this was like sort of throwing a dart at a fucking dartboard, but I'm hoping we get a little bit more rain, and I'm just going off his so he's come over from fucking Adelaide, and then his first run over here at Ballarat at 2,000 meters on a heavy track, he put sword to him very easy, so he drops back from the 2,400. Oh geez, he's just come in on. As we speak, he's just had a little bit more money come for him. The punters is someone live streaming this as well. Fuck it hell. But I reckon
you're excited about that, Jim.
Someone sneakily live streaming. But I reckon he's
your breath stinks.
I haven't brushed my teeth. I reckon he's a good little player. We got him at $12 and $3.80.
Yep.
Yeah, I reckon he's a good little play there. He should get the gun run of the race, got no weight. And with these staying races with these 3-year-olds, a fair few of them have been up for a while already. And I just think he might be one of the fresh horses on the scene sort of thing. And, if we get a bit more rain and the rails off come that stage of the day, I reckon he can run a sneaky race at big odds for us.
Yeah, beautiful, boys. I'm going to have a bit of a quaddie late in the day there too. I'll see how it's playing out and make sure we have all 3 numbers, because if especially if Jess ends up saluting this somehow, it'll be fucking grouse the quaddie.
Fucking hell. The SEC will be going off.
Even a little Quinella with our 3 will be a little fucking go.
Yeah, that's not a bad play. Speaking of value, boys, that's it. We're coming up to our value bets. Jimmy, you want to keep going? I love this from you. You are taking on Jesse's best of the day.
I'm taking, so like I did on Wednesday, I took on his best of the day with a roughie, and it absolutely fucking did a number on him. And
by half a length.
So we're going race 3 at Randwick. My Demetra down the bottom.
Yep.
We got him at $10 and $3.10.
Correct.
So this horse, he's coming from the midweekers, but he should have arguably won last start. He just got boxed up for a bit too long and didn't get out till late. We got Sammy Clipperton on board, 54 kilos. So I reckon we land a bit better than midfield. And the last prep, he ran 0.9 of a length off Sacramento.
Oh, yeah. It's nice form line.
At Randwick over the 1800. So, and that was in benchmark 78 grade. And Sacramento, as we know, went on to win open class races last in the spring.
Yep.
And I just think at those odds, might drift out a little on the day if they back the favourites. But yeah, third up is 4 goes third up for 3 placings. And yeah, I just like his profile into it. He's on 10-day backup. He's gone 1,300, 1,500 now up to the 1,800. So yeah, I reckon he platforms very well. And then yeah, should just stalk him, and then Sammy Clipperton will get him out to the middle of the track in the straight. And if he lets down like he can, if she lets down like she can, she'll put sword to him and cause a little boil over.
Yeah, do you like a little same race? I might even have a little same race multi in that, and backies there, boys. Do you want to go? Are we going to 1-4 or are we going to 1-3 on that? So do you want 25.75 or 20.80?
We'll go 25.75, Skip.
Yeah, 1-3. Beautiful.
Get more money back for us, you know.
Should have just went the place, I reckon.
Well, like I said, I might have the same race multi. So my Demetra to finish top 3 and Le Chevalier top 2. So it leaves it open for potentially Jim to come home with a win there.
we can scrap some coins up and
He's
throw it
been
in the kitty.
messaging me Saturday early on going, how good's that, Jim? Fucking.
Yours is each way though, Jess?
Yeah, so mine's each way value. I'm sticking to Randwick. In race 5, I'm jumping on board Catapult at 5s and 2s. So reason being for this is he'll be third up this run, and you have to just ignore his first 2 runs given they're on heavy tracks. He loves a genuine dry track. We've got Huey on board who's been running he's been riding very well of late. And it's first up run. I'm not sure if you followed Bellagio Miss. Have you been following Bellagio Miss?
No, I haven't. No.
So our Bellagio Miss, she's been racing very well. And first up, Catapult on a bias track flew home to finish 1.8 lengths off her. And I think that form line alone and getting on a good track is enough that I reckon he gets the dub, Catapult. That's why I'm happy to take the each way play. Yeah,
we end up having to go to Ladbrokes to get the 5-2, a little bit away from sports. Yeah. At the moment on Sportsbet, it's 481.95, just under sort of what we're looking for in that value. But yeah, with Ladbrokes,
there's already been a wait for him as well. So, as we mentioned,
I think you gave that to me last night, and it started off. I think it was around the 650 mark, wasn't it? 650, 250, and it's come in. So there's a bit of support for it.
Yeah, there's no rain clouds at all coming over Sydney way, so it's going to be a good 3, good 4 on the day.
Yep.
A lot of speed in the race. Should suit.
Yep. All right, and moving on to the sports bets to finish off, boys. You're going to, Jess, you're staying with South. You're on, Jimmy was on South. The week before you were on South, sorry. But you're staying with them again. You think they're going to do a number with a few anytime try scorers?
So I'm sticking in that game. I'm going for it. What are we on now, Skip? Is this going to be 5 straight sports bets? I just like to keep track of numbers.
Because you got the void. So you're claiming the void. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, we're going to make it 5 or 6 straight. I'm nearly losing track here, but South and Dragons game, I'm going to run with anytime try scorers of Mansour, Mitchell, and Gags. Mansour?
That's the first time I've ever heard him called Mansour.
Mansour. I'm shocking with names. Pronunciation.
Nearly as bad as me. We're just good looks, Jess?
Yeah, that's it. We just look good. South, I'm going to give him a line of negative 29.5. This Dragons team on paper is mud, but they could turn up. Yeah,
respectfully to mudders.
Yeah, but they could turn up on the day. Who knows? And another thing I chucked in the multi is South to get over 39.5 points. So I reckon it's going to be like I'm thinking around a 54-10 whitewash.
That's the Souths are in such good form at the moment. Obviously, the way that the Dragons played last week, and they've been unsettled for a couple of weeks now, obviously due to the situation that popped up. So, although that's a lot of points, it's actually, with a lot of these games these days, mate, when some of the top teams against the lower teams, I think in particular, Souths are probably that 3rd and 4th team with Manly that are starting to separate themselves from the rest of the group. So, back in Souths to win by a bit, like I had last week with my minus 20.5. I can't believe I got done with Manly, who when Adam Dewey kicked a fucking sideline conversion. But the thing is, we still had at least 10 minutes to go, and Manly went 1 by 20, and they made so many fucking errors. Like they could have won. They could have won by so much more. I can't believe I missed that by half a point, but. No postmortems here, boys. I'm confident on this week. And before I get to that, you're going Manly this week, Jim.
Yep, so fly like a fucking eagle, Skip. So this is one of my favourite matchups in terms of betting. For Manly always put it to the Sharkies. Their record against the Sharkies, as you know, you would have touched them up a couple of times.
Yeah, we had some good years. We had some good years against the Sharks back in the day, and it's continued. You're right.
Yeah, so this is literally the Sharks' bogey team is Manly, and the Sharkies, they lose Shawnee Johnson, so they've got a couple others out as well, which definitely won't help their cause. But So we're starting it off with Manly to win both halves. I reckon they go on with it this week, Skip, unlike last week.
Yep.
Manly to win 13 plus.
Yep.
Tommy Turbo, anytime try scorer.
Yep.
Rubes on the wing, Garrick to get a try. And then I reckon Sione Katoa from the Sharks, I reckon he gets a little consolation try at some stage in the game. And that combined gets us 775. And this is probably, the keenest I've been on an NRL multi this year. And that's saying, well, it's not really saying it.
Yeah, you sound excited.
I've only got one up, but yeah, I reckon this game's it should be a good betting game for the punters.
Yeah, well, it's. I like Chuck and Guitar in there as well. As good as Manly have been this year, they're not the sort of the team that actually like completely blows teams away. Like they leak that odd fucking random try. So whether you're going Katoa or Mulatalo for the Sharks, I think is not a bad bet, and it gives you good odds too when you chuck that try scorer in from the other team.
Yes, because I just like Katoa because Connor Tracy was scoring nearly every week, sort of thing, and. Yeah, Katoa's on the wing where Connor Tracy was, and that right-hand side with Ramian, that's sort of the Sharks' more preferred side in attack. So, yeah, I reckon that's where they can leak a try, score a try down that right-hand side, and hopefully, Ramian sets up Katoa, and we get that across as well.
Yep. Yeah, beautiful, mate. I'm anything with Bird Gang in it, I'm always stoked. I'm going to go against your team this week, Jimmy. I'm going against the Wires, mate. I think they've got too many outs. It's a pretty unsettled lineup, and to be fair, like I said, Tigers come up against red hot Manly side last night, like full strength, and did a pretty fair job of them. Before that, I think they're on a 2 or 3 game win streak. Like they've been playing pretty good footy of late. So I'm just going to go. I like Luciano Leilua. I think he's going to be matched up on O'Sullivan or my son Petahiku, who's been missed a bit of footy. I think he's going to be on O'Sullivan's side because Pettit generally likes to play the right edge if he gets his preference. So I like Luciano anytime, just into a stock standard Tigers -5.5. And like I said, I've talked about this on previous shows, Rookie and the Vet and whatnot. I hate backing the Tigers, especially when they're favourites. But at $4.50, I think that's just like a nice stock standard bet for me. And it's not going to break the bank, but just a little hungy to get $4.50 back, and I'm pretty confident on that bet.
That'll be a good play, Skip. I reckon the Tigers can rack up a big score this week.
Yep. So thanks for that, boys. We've got a total, just a nice round number of $1,000 on this week too, boys. So I thought, with the 800 and 900, it's just like it was a little bit willy nilly. So I like a round number. We've got 1,000 on this week, and let's see if we can get in the plus for this week, eh?
Yeah,
pressure's on Jimmy.
Back. There's no pressure. There's no pressure.
There's no pressure, baby. All right, thanks, boys. No. Sorry, I just got all the paperwork here. Jess, at this point, it's not even worth doing until Jimmy, because it's going to be a good 2 hours for me to go back through all the content and go over the paperwork. So until Jimmy starts pulling his finger out, like it's not even a competition at this point. This is why
I'm here for that. Like I always say to him, you're not my competition, Jimmy. I'm in my own lane.
I start early this week, $1.75.
Thanks for that, boys. I'll see you next week.
Pleasure, Jazzy. See ya.